Hi, dear students. Technical writing. We're going to continue with this topic, technical writing. I'd like to remind you that in our previous classes, in our previous sessions, we dealt with 1.1 and 1.2. In 1.1, we studied words and vocabulary, under which we understood what are words, we understood what is vocabulary, how to build up vocabulary. In the second session, we studied about sentences and paragraphs. And today, 1.3, we are going to deal with structure and grammar. Let us understand what is this structure and grammar. Before that, we need to understand what is syntax. This word comes from the Greek word syntaxis. Syntaxis in English gives the meaning arrangement. You know, arrangement is so important. Let it be words, sentences, paragraphs, or let it be anything. Arrangement makes everything look better. Similarly, the way in which words are arranged so as to reveal relationships of meanings within sentences, that is syntax. Whenever we use words, sentences, or paragraphs, if we arrange them properly, the sentences, the paragraphs, and as a whole, the entire article looks so beautiful, so systematic. So, syntax is very important. It studies combinations of words, including word structure and sentence structure. What is the importance of structure in language? Any language, the structure of the sentences is very important. Talking particularly about English, language structures refer to sentence level comprehension of text. Basically, the word structure means to construct something, to build something. Arrangement of words within sentences impacts the meaning. Yes, if the words are arranged systematically, if the sentences are arranged systematically, the entire article, the entire sentence looks meaningful and beautiful. One more importance of structure in language is it helps readers interpret the meaning of full sentences. Yes, when we speak or when we write something, the listener or the reader should understand what we mean without any pressure, without any difficulty. But if we confuse the reader or the listener, he will either be confused or there is also a chance like he might understand something else. Meaning the listener or the reader might not understand what exactly we want to say or what exactly we have written. So one of the importance, one important point of structure is it helps readers interpret the meaning of full sentences. Structural grammar. What is this structural grammar? Till now, we were discussing about structure. We understood what is structure, how important is structure. Now, it is structural grammar. A means of analyzing written and spoken language. Yes, structural grammar is a kind of tool used to analyze written and spoken language. It is concerned with how elements of a sentence are put together. Structural grammar is mainly concerned with how elements of a sentence are put together. Moving on, what is grammar? Dear students, as you know, we are dealing with 1.3 in technical writing and 1.3 is structure and grammar. After understanding structure briefly, let us move on to grammar. Right from your primary classes, you are coming across this term grammar. Some of them enjoy dealing with grammar, whereas some of them have a nightmare. Some students say grammar is like a hammer, but what I say is grammar is like mathematics. Yes, though they both are quite different, but one similarity between grammar and mathematics is that if you understand, you will enjoy. And if you don't understand, you will fall in trouble. So, like mathematics, grammar is also tough for some students and easy for others. Basically, this word grammar comes from the Latin word grammatica. The meaning of grammatica in English is art of writing or art of speaking. Let me remind you all that grammar is used in written language as well as spoken language. So, grammatica means art of writing or art of speaking. Grammar is a set of rules, rules of language. It governs the sounds, words, sentences, combination and interpretation. Grammar also means the study of sounds, words, sentences, combination and interpretation. What is the importance of grammar? What would happen if we start ignoring grammar and focus only on speaking or writing, ignoring grammar? Information wouldn't reach the listener or the reader. I mean to say, the exact information what the speaker or the writer wants to give, the listener or the reader might not understand the exact information. That's why grammar is very important. When a speaker or a writer uses grammar systematically, the listener or the reader understands every bit of information. Grammar also conveys precise meaning from the writer to the audience. precise, exact. If there is systematic grammar in our written article or in our speech, the audience will understand what we want to say. If there are some grammatical errors in our speech or in our article, then there are two chances what the audience might have in front of them. I mean, the two challenges the audience might face. Either they might not understand and get confused, or they might misunderstand. One of these chances will happen. Types of grammar. There are mainly two types of grammar: perspective and descriptive. Apart from perspective and descriptive, there are some other types: traditional grammar, sentence interpretative grammar, sentence producing grammar, reference, structural, and generative grammar. So these were some of the points regarding grammar. Remember, grammar is very important in every language. Every language. Similarly, in English also, grammar is very important. Dear students, let's move ahead. Technical writing 1.4. The topic: punctuation. Before we get into this topic, I have a question for you. Can we ride or drive without following traffic rules? Most of them say no. But there are a few who might be thinking, yes, we can. I mean, they mean to say, yes, we can ride or drive without following traffic rules. Okay, let us agree with them. Most of them do it. They are serious about traffic rules only when the traffic policeman or the CCTV camera is near them. They start following the rules. They remove their helmets and wear it because a traffic policeman is standing in front at the signal. So some of them literally do it. They drive or ride without following traffic rules. But imagine if majority of the riders and drivers start breaking rules like you, entering the no entry, moving to the right side of the road, jumping the signal, riding without helmet, riding without wearing the seat belt. If majority of them start doing this, then imagine the number of accidents and the chaos on the roads. So the conclusion is that riding or driving without following traffic rules is not good. When one or two do it, it is negligible. But when majority of them do it, it cannot be neglected. It's better to follow the traffic rules when we are riding or driving. Similarly, punctuation. Punctuation is like the traffic rules. If we follow, driving becomes easy. When we follow the punctuation marks, speaking or writing becomes easy. Importance of punctuation. Punctuation marks are symbols that indicate the structure and organization of written language. In fact, punctuation is also important in spoken language. In written, we use marks, whereas in spoken language, even though we don't use marks, but the way we pause, the way we stop, this is nothing but kind of punctuation. Punctuation is vital to disambiguate the meaning of sentences. Here is a very interesting example which proves that punctuation can save lives. You heard it right? Yes, punctuation can save lives. Let us take, for example, the first sentence. Let's eat grandpa. This sentence gives an idea like a few grandchildren are so hungry that when they don't get anything to eat, they want to eat grandpa. That is what this sentence says. Let's eat grandpa. Whereas the second example, which has a comma after the word eat, gives some other meaning. Let's eat, grandpa. Can you guess what's the meaning here? Same words, only one comma is added. With this comma, the entire meaning changes. Here it looks as if a cute little grandchild is inviting grandpa for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, whatever it is. Let's eat, grandpa. So, like this, punctuation plays a very important role. It can also save lives. One more interesting example. Imagine in a classroom, a professor writes a sentence on the board and asks the class to punctuate the sentence. The group of words are: a woman without her man is nothing. No punctuations used, only the words on the board. Now the entire class, all the students, were free to punctuate however they felt like. A group of boys, they wanted to prove that men are superior. They wrote it in this form: a woman without her man is nothing. You can see there's a comma after the word man, and the sentence goes like this: a woman without her man is nothing. This sentence is inclined towards men, whereas the girls of that class, they wrote it in this format, the second format: a woman, colon, without her, comma, man is nothing. What meaning does the second sentence give? A woman, without her, man is nothing. This sentence is inclined towards women because this sentence says that man is nothing without woman. In fact, there is a very famous saying in English: behind every man's success, there is a woman in his life. So you can see how a comma placed in different places gives different meanings. So we have come across two examples. One where grandpa's life was saved with the help of a comma, and here's one on your screen where a woman without her man is nothing, or a woman without her man is nothing. Punctuation plays a very important role in our speeches or the written articles. In fact, it is a kind of tool that allows us to organize our thoughts and make it easier to review and share them. Our ideas flow very smoothly when our speech or the article is punctuated. Otherwise, there are, as I said earlier, there are two chances. One, either the listener or the reader is misunderstood, or he is confused. A few punctuation marks are given in the next slide. I request you to read and understand. Some of them are very common. You are using them every day, but still, I'd like to give you some time to go through each and every punctuation mark and either understand or revise what you already have understood. So please go through this list of punctuation marks. Here they are. These are the punctuation rules. I'm giving you some time to read the first one, the most common punctuation mark, full stop. Just have a look where full stop is used. Please go through the details about the full stop. The second one is also a very popular, commonly used punctuation mark, that is comma. Have a look at the rules. Where are commas used? Please read it. Question mark is one more commonly used punctuation mark. It is also called interrogative mark. Exclamation mark. Yes, one more very common punctuation mark is exclamation mark. Quotation marks, also known as inverted commas. Dear students, I am giving you some time so that you can read the rules. Apostrophe. Apostrophe is also a very important mark. Not very common like the full stop or comma. There are a lot of confusions related to apostrophe, particularly when we deal with singular and plural. Hyphen. Hyphen is also a kind of punctuation mark. Then there is dash, colon, colon and semicolon. Most of the students are confused. You can see in between the word and the description, the symbols are given there. How does a colon differ from semicolon? You can have a look here. I'm moving the cursor near the colon and semicolon. Colon is a set of dots, whereas semicolon is a combination of a dot and a comma. Next we have brackets, the square brackets, the parenthesis. Then we have slash, etc., etc. So please go through all these punctuation rules. If you have forgotten, please revise them. Use these punctuation rules or marks to make your speech or your articles better. Thank you very much. Bye bye.